Welcome back, episode 3, Roanoke Live.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't noticed, we're in full getup. I think, Tiffany, we might be addicted to dressing up.
I think so too. Well, we made it a thing on the first and the second podcast, so now it's just like we're gonna have to dress up for every single one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dress up as turkeys for November.
Well, this one was easy because it is spooky season. As you could see, we have the studio decorated with Halloween, and we're dressed up as, if you haven't guessed it, Ken and Barbie.
Yes.
Just so thought it was topical, and these costumes are cool, and I love neon, and I kind of wish we got to wear this kind of stuff full time. That would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, can you imagine us going into the concert we got to work tonight?
Yeah,
like this.
Right. We are taping this on Old Dominion Day, which is a fun one, but it is kind of weird to like step out of the madness and come put on silly clothes.
Yeah, it is, and walking around the office too. Like everybody just like, hey, let me get a picture of you, and I'm like, I'm not picture ready. Like, don't do that yet. Like, not prepared.
Yeah. I'm loving it though. But yeah, Ken and Barbie, one of the biggest movies. I think you'll probably see this costume out a lot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're loving it. I love Halloween. It's like it's one of those holidays where like as your kid, it's like your Super Bowl. It's got to be up there with Christmas when you're like in prime age from like 5 to 14. I think like that's prime Halloween age.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, Rob, but I still go out for Halloween. So my parents dress up and I dress up, and I was actually gonna point out, like, I obviously love music, as you know. I was Powerline from Goofy movie last year.
Oh my God, that's my favorite Disney movie.
No way, me too. Yeah, so it is. So I did Powerline last year, and it's gonna be really hard for me to top this year. But I've been looking at costumes. I'm a little late to the game. I normally have it ordered and everything. But have you thought about what you're gonna be at?
So I'm at like a little bit of a different stage because now my kids are really into it. So they're kind of the focus. But they're super excited for it. One year, I dressed up as Dorothy from Wizard of Oz and went trick-or-treating with them.
No way.
That's when I had a small kid with me. It was a little weird. I don't know if people liked me knocking on their door. But it was great. They had a blast. They got a kick out of it. So that's all that mattered to me. But my son is doing Miles Morales. He is obsessed with Spider-Man.
I love that. That's one of my favorite movies now. Like, I love the Spider-Man, like the Into the Spider-Verse series.
Oh, they're good.
I'm such a fan of like Marvel and DC, just comics, like growing up. So that's so cool. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I like when he watches those movies because I'm into it. It's when he turns on like Spy Kids 17.
Spy Kids 17.
Like they made so many of them, and it's straight to DVD, which they don't really do anymore. But back when we were growing up, you had straight to DVD movies. That's basically the quality of them. So I'll watch Spider-Man all day. And then my daughter's going to be Gabby. I don't know if you know Gabby's Playhouse, but it's like a Netflix show. And she loves it. So they're like prime Halloween age. My son is just super excited to get as much candy, and then I'll steal most of it and pretend like it's for his own benefit.
I love that. I love that. I don't have any kids yet, so I don't get the perks of like getting candy.
Yeah,
but
right.
If I do hand out candy on Halloween this year, I'm probably going to eat half of it. So, I mean, it's fine. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Geez.
Such a tough choice.
I know. Anything like I used to like, it wasn't all about like the type. It was all about like finding the house that gave out the real size candy bars instead of the fun size one.
Yeah.
Then you like let all your friends know like you got to go to this house.
You got to go. It's a long walk. It's always the one with like the longest driveway.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, I know. Growing up, there was this house that was up on the hill, and it was. You don't know if it's worth it, Like you start the trek up the hill and you're like, is it worth it to go all the way up there? And it's always that's the house that always had the full-size candy bars. But
did you go suitcase? I'm sorry, not suitcase, pillowcase for your candy bag? Or did you have a nice cute one?
I had a cute one. So it's actually, anybody watching the video right now, it was the little pumpkins.
Oh.
So the little pumpkin with the black handle, that's kind of what was popular.
I like that, but you don't have much room to fill up. We used to get like a pillowcase and try to fill that bad boy up and just like sprint house to house.
Yeah, see, that's a smart way. Like I feel like when my parents used to take me, they would get like real bored real fast.
Oh yeah.
So they would just be like, all right, you go to like 10 houses and we're going home, and you can eat whatever candy. So that was kind of what happened. But
yeah, do you have a favorite Halloween costume growing up? Anyone that you can remember?
Gosh. I would say I think I'm doing myself more justice in my adulthood of what I've been dressing up as, because I actually like to sometimes I make make the costumes. So like last year for Powerline, I made that costume. So, but as a
That's
kid,
sweet. Wow.
yeah, as a kid though, I don't really remember much. Me and my brother used to dress up together, so we would go as things together.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But yeah, we don't do that anymore. I think he plays like PlayStation while I go out. My parents dress up though, which I think is
that's awesome.
Super cool. I don't know what they're going to be this year, but they were Batman and Superwoman last year, which was kind of interesting. Fun. Yeah, so
yeah, that's like the next stage where it's like you get to go out and do adult dress up and go to parties and have lots of fun.
Yeah.
That's Halloween's great. And it's kind of like the kickoff to holiday season in my mind. Cause then like Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So I love Halloween. It's always so much fun. And we're excited for it. As you could tell, we made our whole podcast about it.
Yeah, we did. Well, speaking of things that are spooky that we love, I don't know about Rob, but I'm actually a huge like paranormal fan. I know we had Amy Bruni here last year, and I did some research on some haunted music venues in the United States. So we have the top 5 here.
Before we jump into it, what is your stance on ghosts? Are you a
this is
believer, or like it's like see it to believe it, or
So I've done some paranormal stuff.
Sweet, me too.
I've gone to like Wytheville and stayed. They have like a museum up there that you can sleep in.
Okay.
So me and my best friend did that one year.
In it?
Yeah, we slept in sleeping bags on the wooden floor. It was fantastic.
Wow.
But no, I don't know. I think I believe in it. When a few years ago, well, not a few years, it's longer than a few years. But when I was in high school, I was sleeping in a friend's house, and I actually had like a little girl's voice like in my ear.
Oh my goodness.
And I was terrified because I was sleeping on the floor, and my best friend Ashley was sleeping in her bed. I jumped up in that bed with her. I was like, I am not sleeping on this floor. Like, I don't know what just happened, but it just was such a high pitched like little girl's voice that woke me up out of a dead sleep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think ever since then I've kind of like believed in it, but I haven't had anything happen since then. So,
oh my gosh, we went to Savannah one time, which is supposed to be really haunted.
Yeah, I love that.
And went
place.
on a bunch of ghost tours. It's fun regardless. I'm kind of up in the air about it. Probably, I think. You know, there's just like we have so much energy like bottled inside of us. I feel like it's got to go somewhere. So it wouldn't shock me, but it's definitely fun to think about. Right?
Oh, it is for sure. Like I love doing anything haunted, and that's why like I wanted to do research on these music venues. A couple of my favorite bands actually did like paranormal investigations in the number one venue that we have here. So I'm excited to kind of talk about that one. No, so we're going from 5 to 1.
I love it.
So to start off the list, we actually have the Roseland Theater, which is in Portland, Oregon, and it's listed as the number 1 most haunted place in Portland.
Wow.
Yeah, so the venue was a haven for criminal activity. Starry Nights owner Larry Hurwitz, hopefully I didn't butcher that name.
That's good. You did good.
Was convicted of murdering one of his employees. So
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he must have been late one too many times to his shift. And then Tim Moreau, according to the legend, the angry spirit of Moreau haunts Roseland. So that was the employee that he murdered. So, man, that's kind of rough. What would be grounds for like murdering your employee? Like, that's a little crazy.
I know. Maybe they made this up so they keep their employees in line.
That makes sense. But you know what's funny? I was listening actually to a podcast about some of these haunted places just to learn a little more about them. Apparently, if the employees that still work there say that they don't think it's haunted, people tend to think the place isn't haunted. But you never know if the employees are just saying that or if, you know. So
that's wild.
Yeah, so I haven't been to Portland. I used to live in California, but that was kind of one that was over there that I wanted to visit. But so the next one, that number 4, that's actually way closer to us. We should take an office trip up there.
Let's get expense, and we just have to go visit all of these.
Right? Well, we have Ford's Theater, which I'm sure you history buffs know about this one. This one's in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is where President Lincoln was assassinated. So attendees have recounted hearing disembodied footsteps.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and this has been attributed to John Wilkes Booth running up the back stairs to the president's box. And a lot of them hear people shouting murder. So
yeah, that one makes sense. I think that one might check out.
Yeah, so like I said, this is another one. I've been to DC so many times, and I've just never made it there. I've never done anything ghost. Like I always just like to stay in the center of DC and do like the stuff I do every single time.
Right.
So,
it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So for number 3, we have the Bristol Opera House, which is in Bristol, Indiana.
Okay.
The story about this one is there's a middle-aged woman who watches over performances there, and there's also a young girl named Beth who has been spotted on the left side of the stage peeking out from behind the curtain.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then there's actually another one. So this place sounds really haunted. There's a former handyman at the Opera House he's a bit of a trickster, and he supposedly messes with the electricity, moving props, and brushing up against actors and guests. So,
I love that.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you heard about this, but when we had Amy Bruni, our ghost Charlie, he was messing with the electricity and the sound when she was here, and we were having some sound issues.
Yeah, so. I was going to bring up Charlie. We definitely have a ghost here.
Okay.
That we talk about quite frequently, and it's funny that it got brought up during that. I heard he made an appearance that night.
He did. I actually, since I'm newer here at Berglund, I didn't know we had a ghost until that event. So
we try not to say that in the interview process.
Well, now it's public, so now we all know. But we're gonna have to start doing ghost tours in the plaza.
Oh,
Rob,
there we go.
I'm just kidding.
I love it.
Yeah. So this one I've actually been on the outside of this next venue. This is number 2. It's the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been to Nashville, but it is on any ghost tour you would do there.
Gotcha.
Me and my mom did one, so we got to walk outside of it, and I will tell you the vibes were definitely spooky.
Wow.
So originally it was built as a place for Christian worship. The space was transformed into a music venue, and apparently it upset the spirit of a man it was named after. So Ryman Auditorium is the home to the ghost of fringe-clad country singers and a curse that has taken the lives of those who dare to sing on stage. So that's like the myth.
Oh my goodness.
And so apparently
what in the world?
Yeah. So the Gray Man, he's one of the spirits that resides there, and he's a Confederate soldier, and he's been seen sitting in the balcony at various rehearsals and performances. But I actually have one to add to this list, because when I did the ghost tour, they were actually saying that there were, oh gosh, I cannot remember it now, but there is a statue outside of a country singer, and she actually haunts, she's like apparently one of the biggest ghosts there. So if you guys go to Nashville, please do a ghost tour. I can't remember the one I did, but it was amazing, and you will see that statue. And
that's
I wanted
awesome.
I know, I was only there for a couple days, but I wanted to tour the inside, so hopefully I still go.
Yeah. Time.
So for number 1, and the one I'm probably really excited, I'm most excited to talk about this one. This is the Rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A lot of bands that I like, they actually go there to perform because it's a smaller venue, and they constantly are posting videos of like paranormal investigations that they do. And like I just hear a bunch of stories. But just to start off the list, there's a pool there. So if you Google this place, there's this huge pool, and it's said to be haunted by a girl who drowned in it years ago. It used to be open to the public. So, but one of the coolest stories, I think, is Mac Miller was known for playing there, and everybody knows Mac Miller's passed now. But yeah, he played at the venue in 2013, and he actually signed the pool wall stating that I am Mac Miller, I once lived and I am now dead, and my soul remains here. Enjoy, ...
What in the world?
Yeah, so that was his first message. And then he also wrote, he did pass in 2018. And it was only 5 years after writing on that wall, but he actually wrote a couple more messages. He wrote, I think he played there twice and then passed before he could play the third time. But he wrote again talking about dying a second time on the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they actually have a plexiglass around it so nobody can mess with it. But a couple of the bands that I like, one of the bands called Cheat Codes, they actually went there recently and played, and they said that they left the room just temporarily, and they came back, and all the furniture that was in there, like the chairs and everything, were stacked.
Did they still play?
Yeah, they did. They did, but they said it was just
crazy.
Yeah, they said that when you walk in, just for their sound, like their rehearsals, because it's a great place with great acoustics in there in the pool area.
Right.
So everybody goes in there. But the furniture was all stacked in the middle, and they said that they were like, nope, we're not going in here alone anymore. So yeah, that is the Rave in Milwaukee, the number 1 most haunted music venues.
Yeah. You know, a lot that makes sense, and that's an awesome list. I just learned a bunch too. But you know, there's a lot of these music venues have so much history, and like so many people have walked through their doors. So it makes sense that they would have something like that.
Yeah.
Man, I think we definitely need to hit a tour and see some of these. I mean, that Mac Miller stuff is crazy for him to say that. Like,
it is. It's just kind of, the first time I found out about it, it kind of gave me chills.
Yeah.
And I actually found out about that recently, and I started looking into it. Podcasts are like one of my favorite ways to learn like about like history, about facts, about a place.
Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast about it, and just hearing the Mac Miller stuff just gave me chills.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
It's almost like he kind of predicted his death, but maybe, you know, he talked a lot. I don't know if anybody's a fan that's listening to the podcast, but he did talk about dying young.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think he kind of always knew, which is kind of creepy. But just to write that on the wall, like, imagine being a performer walking in and seeing that, and you're just kind of like, okay, like, this is, you know, this is kind of wild. Like,
yeah, and now he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he part of the, do you know what the 27 Club is?
Is it? I don't think so. Like,
so it's all of these amazing artists, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, all died when they were 27.
Oh my gosh, no.
So you know, it's probably something to do with like the rock star life and like just like running yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. I can't remember. He might have been 28. I think he remember.
Young.
I think I remember he was maybe a year older than it. But if you go look it up, the 27 Club, there's a bunch of artists that died at that year. You know, it's just not a sustainable lifestyle, really.
No,
if you look
not.
at it logically, but it's crazy. You know, he did always talk about death and dying young, but that's probably has something to do with probably the way he was living, you know?
Yeah, well, he actually sold out that last time he was supposed to play. He sold out the entire club.
Wow.
Like, to play.
Yeah,
and
he
it
was like getting ready to go. Like, he was already big, but like, he was getting ready to go like mainstream pop level. I think.
Well, he literally passed right before he was supposed to play that third time. So it's just kind of crazy that he wrote that on the walls, and then he sold the place out the very last time, and just he obviously didn't get to play. So it's just wild. I mean, you never, like I said, I guess you could never tell the future, but apparently he kind of had an idea.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of creepy. But, well, on that. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, not a depressing note, but.
No, it's just like that's the different sides of Halloween, right?
It is,
like you have the fun, like little ghosts like these guys. And then you got like, you know, the other side of Halloween, you know, you have. You know, the Hispanic part of the Day of the Dead, where like you go visit your relatives that have passed. That's the day that they come. So there's Halloween has a rich history, you know, and then also you get candy and get to play dress up. So there's just a whole bunch of different sides of it. I love every aspect of it. It's fascinating, you know, and it's great. It's fun, and it's great to learn about. But yeah, let's move on to the next segment, our monthly events, where we roll down what we got coming up here at the Berg, as we call it, Berglund Center, and we could talk about the events. We are getting into busy season. Summer didn't really stop being busy season, but October to around April, you just kind of close your eyes, as we say, and you just get, you go through it. And we got a bunch of events for you guys. We're really excited. We did mention we're taping on Old Dominion night. Hometown Boys coming. I'm sure it's going to be a great show that's going to air after. But love when those guys come. I remember the last time he came, he said like, winning new country artist of the year was great, but like coming to his hometown venue and selling it out and was the best, because he used to come watch people play here.
Yeah. I was supposed to come to that concert, and I ended up having to work out of town.
Work,
so I had to sell them. But so I'm like really excited for tonight. It's kind of weird. I didn't know back then that I'd be working for Berglund Center, so it kind of came full circle for me. So I'm kind of excited. But yeah, I can't wait to see those guys. They seem like great guys.
They are, yeah.
To have grown up down the highway from us is just insane. So
it's so cool.
It's going to be a really electric show tonight.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. But
let us know in the comments if you came and if you had fun. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, we have the Craftsman's Fall Classic. We talked about how Halloween's kind of the start of holiday season. This is a great way to get ready for that. If you need some Halloween decorations, if you want Christmas gifts, I don't know about you. I'm awful at buying Christmas gifts as far as like when I buy them. I enjoy buying them, but it's always like the last month. I always tell myself every year I'm going to start earlier. That if you're one of those people that wants to start earlier, come to this. It's got some really cool stuff, and it's free too. All you got to do is bring a donation to the to the food bank, and you get in for free.
Sweet. I was going to say, I think it's hilarious that we're both bad at gift giving, but we're marketers. So, it's fine. We should be the best at giving gifts, but I think I guess we are event marketers. So technically doing gifts might be a little out of our range.
I could give gifts. It's just I wait so long.
Me too.
I'm just such a procrastinator when that comes to that stuff.
Me too.
All right, rolling right along. We got Blippi next week. I mentioned I have children. They're obsessed with Blippi. Mika is my daughter's favorite. She's going to be there too. So if you have kids, Blippi's going to be a great time. It's a fun show. Singing, dancing, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Zach Williams will mention it, but it is sold out. For those who are lucky enough to have tickets, you've been holding them for a while. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to come last year, but he had some issues with his throat, and he had to rest it and cancel his tour. So we're really pumped to have it. It's been sold out for a while. He's a great musician. His fans love him so much. So if you're lucky enough to have tickets to that, we're looking forward to having you here next week.
Yeah. And then next we have Rob Schneider. We're really pumped about that.
Yes.
I don't know about you, Rob, but I grew up watching his movies.
You can do it.
Yes. And especially him with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
They were just like a package deal when I was a kid. So,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we're really stoked to have him. And tickets are going fast for that one.
Yes.
So make sure you guys hop on it if you want to see him.
Right.
He's in the theater, which is a little more intimate than the Coliseum. So, yeah, make sure you grab those. And I'll take the next one.
Yeah. So this is the big one. Besides Old Dominion, is the Rail Yard Dogs are back, baby.
Whoop, whoop.
They won the championship. They start October 20th. They start their quest to defend their title. When you're the champ, everyone's going to be giving you their best effort. So we really need to pack the house for them. So get your tickets for opening night. It's affordable. It's family friendly. It's such a blast. And we need to show their support. They're the defending champs. I'm sure there's going to be a ring ceremony, and we're going to hang a banner. And we love the dogs here. They do a great job. They have their own team, but we support them any way that we can. And hockey games are so much fun. I know you used to work for the dogs. So.
Yes, I used to be an ice girl for the dogs, which I get recognized here, and I think they're a little confused why I'm not doing the dogs and I'm here. They're like, wait, what are you doing at this event? And I'm just like, I got really lucky and I get to work for Berglund Center now, and it's awesome. So
yeah, it's so much fun though. It's such a great time. Please come out and support the local hockey team.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have Monster Flea Market. The vendor spots are sold out, but it's free to attend. Another place to get some really cool bargains if you love yard sales. It's right when it's getting too cold for yard sales, so you can come here and get your yard sale fix. The vendors sell out every year. Mm-hmm. It's already sold out, so you know there's going to be some good vendors. We've had people comment and say, I was going to have my wedding that weekend, but now I'm going to move it so I can go to Monster Flea.
Which
I'm
is
not
wild.
joking. I'm not joking. People have commented
absolutely
that.
wild. But I mean, I get it. If they want to show up in a wedding dress, like have at it. Like
have your reception there.
Yeah, just like get married at one of the booths. Maybe like if there's like a handmade flower booth. Oh, that too. Yeah. You know what? They can just go right upstairs and have their reception.
Yeah.
Like, we got some great food, some catering for them.
Right.
You know? So. Yeah,
it's a great event. It really is. If you like that kind of stuff, you should come. But yeah, let's roll right through it to our third segment. Tiffany came in over the weekend and interviewed a great band. They have a busy schedule, but we really wanted to get them on, so Tiffany took care of it. Tiffany, can you tell us about who we got coming on in the interview, our first ever interview?
Yes. So I asked my friends Terrafirma to come on. They are actually a local band here in Roanoke. I know one or two of them live elsewhere, but they always get together on the weekends, and they're either touring or they're making music. I know that they are recording now for their new album.
Awesome.
But if you want to check out what they already have out, it's really, really good. They actually have Terra Festa, which is a music festival in Blacksburg.
Oh, sweet.
On Saturday. So I'm planning on going to that to support them. Yeah, it's this Saturday at the Milk Parlor. So if you guys aren't doing anything, that will be tomorrow. And definitely go out. It won't just be Terrafirma, but it's going to be some other local bands. I know I saw another local band called Half Fortune. They're going to be opening the festival. So it's just going to be a really great event.
That's awesome.
Terrafirma is one of my favorite local bands, so I'm really excited that we got to have them on for the interview, and you guys are about to listen to it and learn all about them And yeah, make sure you check out their music afterwards. They're great guys and have even better music. So
so tell us a little about the interview. Did we get to see their personalities? I know so they do like hard rock, right? Like
yeah, so they're actually, I know a lot of people have been asking for metal, so we tried to give you a metal fix and get a metal band on here. That's actually my chosen music, my genre of music. But they're actually prog metal, so they're in the metal category. Yeah. So to be honest, like for me, music is just music. So but there are different genres of metal, and they just happen to be like that prog metal. So they did talk about their genre that they're in the interview. So you guys will get to learn a little more about that.
Sweet.
We played a fun game of this or that, and then you'll get to learn more about their personalities.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. I was gonna say John is one of my good friends who you'll see in the interview. He's a big goofball, so I think that shines through a little bit in the interview. So yeah, but I'm excited. If you guys have any local bands that you want to see on, please let us know. We're going to try to have them more frequently, maybe every month if we can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let us know some of your favorite local bands. And yeah, I think that about wraps that up. So I'm excited for you guys to see the interview.
Yeah, check out the interview. Like Tiffany said, comment. If you are a local band, you want to come on, shoot us a message. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Episode 3, check out the interview. It's a great one. Tiffany did a great job, and it's always nice to see people's personality. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Ken and Barbie out.
Ken and Barbie out. Welcome back to the interview portion of Roanoke Live with Rob and Tiff. I do not have Rob with me right now because I have these awesome guys from Terrafirma with me. They are our first podcast guests, and we are very excited to have them. They are actually local. This one's in Richmond, I think now, but I think the rest of you guys are in Christiansburg, Roanoke area. So we're just going to get to know them a little bit. They have a really exciting metal festival coming up actually tomorrow, so we'll talk more about that. But just to start off, tell me about Terrafirma.
Yeah, sure. So, we're, I'd say a progressive metal band. We like to use that term. Prog-ish is something we've been saying lately. Prog-ish metal band. So I'm Cody. I do guitar and vocals. And then we've got John here, also on guitar. We have Mike and Ian as well. So we're a 4-piece, again, out of the New River Valley. Been going about 2 or 3 years now. Yeah.
Anything to add, John?
No.
All right. So how did you guys choose the name Terrafirma?
We went back and forth on a number of different names for a while. I had an older project that one of the tracks was called Terrafirma. Is 2 words like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that just stuck with me for a while. So I think just pulling it together, kind of stylizing it a little bit, looked pretty cool. We stuck with it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
There's no crazy meaning or like significant meaning behind it. It just sounded cool.
Yeah.
And it's always hard to think of a band name, so we're just like, this sounds good enough.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
We'll roll with it. Yeah.
Well, I know I've actually known about these guys for a little bit. I really like metal, which I've talked about on the podcast before. And yeah, so like I said, I like their name. I always wanted to know how they came up with it. So I know you already mentioned what genre of music that your band falls under. So what are some of your musical influences?
You can kick it off.
There's a ton. So like it was really funny when we got started, I guess, for us. Cody and I play very different or come from very different styles of like metal, I guess, background in terms of how we play. I'll let Cody speak on it, but I came from like from First to Last, Taking Back Sunday, Paramore kind of era. So I was really just stuck in like modern metalcore sound. I had never touched a 7-string until I started playing with Cody. That being said, I don't know. Influences nowadays, though. Big Veil of Maya fan. Lately stuff we've been leaning towards is, again, more proggish, right? Kind of like Tesseract, some of Animals as Leaders type stuff, Polyphia type sound. That's kind of what we've been leaning towards now as we have been continuing to grow and mature as a band. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And what about you, Cody?
Yeah, so like John mentioned, I'm more on the, I guess, like in high school learning guitar and all this stuff. I was definitely like the metalhead kid, Metallica, Megadeth, all the classics. But then in like 8th grade, I got a hold of a Dream Theater record. And that like changed everything for me. So, yeah, really big into like 7-string stuff. So some of that early virtuosic, again, like John Petrucci's a huge inspiration for me. But yeah, I think one of the biggest influences for me, purely in terms of like they're the reason that I'm playing music today, is actually an Australian band called Bellicor. Not very big. They have a 2016 album called Vessels, and after I heard that the first time, I just like something like woke up in me. So yeah, that's where a lot of like the starting of like a creative process for me, writing music and you know, kind of coming together eventually to work with John and everyone else came from that band. So yeah, Bellicor, Australian mellow death band, huge for me.
Okay, I love that. So how long have you guys been together? Like, I guess you guys can kind of start with like, how did you guys meet? Like, yeah, how'd you guys get to know each other?
Tinder.
You guys met on Tinder?
No, we actually just met on Facebook. Probably, I think it was through like the Roanoke local metal. I had posted like, 5 times on there over the year, and until Cody messaged me. That was in like early 2020.
Great time.
We started playing. Literally, we got together, started jamming some old stuff that we had already had individually. And then COVID kicked off. And so, of course, we're going to talk about COVID on the podcast. COVID kicked off. And we tried a bunch of we tried to find drummers and bass players, and nothing was working out. So we just kind of like let it fizzle out for probably, like 8 months?
Yeah, I'd say. And then, yeah, like, so that was 2020. And then early 2021, started to get a lineup together, started to make things happen a little more. Played our...
I think we were like a full band, I would say, like by August of 2021.
Okay.
And didn't really actually... I think our first performance would have been in February of 2022. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we've rotated some folks, and I think we've, kind of found our way now. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I know COVID actually had a big hit on us here. We had to shut everything down. Like everyone else, we kind of were in the office. We had to shut down shows, so I'm sure that definitely affected you guys a lot because all the local places were shut down. You couldn't even, I know you guys play at like, you guys have played Spot on Kirk here, right?
Yep.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that place got shut down. But it's good now because, like I said, now we're having shows and we're almost back to normal here. So do you guys, well, I know you guys have some albums out, but you actually just recently came out with a brand new one. Do you guys want to talk about that one a little bit? Like what it's called, where people can go listen to it?
Yeah, I'll let Cody take that one.
Sure. Yeah, so we have our debut full-length album out. It's called Memoria Technica. We dropped that in, I think, March of this year. So it's been out for a little while now. It's a big kind of concept piece. So it's, I can recommend you some tracks off of it, but it's definitely something to hit start on and just kind of get lost in it. But yeah, that's been going for a while. We have a video out for one of the tracks called Spiraling. So if you do want to check that out, that's a good place to start. And actually, as of yesterday, we just started hitting the studio for some upcoming singles and some upcoming EPs we're working towards. So some new stuff coming down the pipe.
That's super exciting. I actually know that the one that you guys did the music video for, that's my favorite of you guys. So
Sweet.
I really like that song.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
So what do you guys like the most about playing music? I know that's a tough question because there's probably a lot, but...
This is hard. That's a hard question. I don't know. It's just something I feel like most people, this is a very cliche answer because most people who are into music probably the same way, but growing up super into music, kind of like the only one in my whole family. And when I say like into music, I was like excited to get like the Now That's What I Call Music CD every year. Like I loved it. I didn't care what kind of music it was. At some point, I don't know what happened. I think it was probably Slipknot that did it for me, maybe Korn, that turned me to the metal side. But I don't know. It's just always been something I really enjoy. So guitar is really the only real thing I stuck with since, being a kid. And it's just a lot of fun. It is. It can be really frustrating and a lot of work sometimes, but it's really fun,
Awesome.
Yeah,
what about you, Cody?
I think for me, I really enjoy just the live aspect of it. That's like everything I do is in service to get out there and just have fun. I'm a pretty quiet guy, just hanging out, doing my thing. But, when I get on stage, it's like you just get to be out there, get to have fun, get to just relax. So yeah, it's all kind of in service to that, to get out there and just have fun with the crowd.
Awesome. So who's your dream act to open up for? Like, if you guys could choose anybody and you guys could just get on the bill for that, like, who would you guys choose?
One band?
You can pick, I'll let you pick up to 2. How about that?
Jeez.
I know that's such a tough choice, but like, if you had to choose, like,
Yeah, you do yours, I'll do mine. How about that? So we're not going to agree. These are going to be very different bands.
We're not. It'd probably be Slipknot. I mean, because you can't go wrong.
No.
I mean, they're the goats. And then probably Paramore. Surprisingly, even though we don't fit together at all, it'd be a weird show. But yeah, Paramore would be up there for me.
okay.
Yeah.
We thrive on weird shows, though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
So
I love that. They're some of the best shows, honestly.
They are.
Yeah, if it's the same exact thing, all night long, your brain
Yeah.
turns off by the time the headliner's there. So maybe we can spice things up.
I love that. What about you, Cody? Who's some bands that, like I said, anybody in the world you could open up for?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Just the fact that Bellacore got me kind of where I am today. That would be huge. And they're a smaller band, so playing a packed out smaller show would be pretty sweet with them. Bigger band wise, incidentally wore Gojira hoodie today.
Yeah.
Gojira, Mastodon, Opeth, a lot of those kind of big, slightly prog rock metal bands. Any of them I would take. Gojira though, their 2005 album Mars to Sirius, 2005, 2006, perfect album.
Yeah.
Love it.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of them. I got to see them back live on their first, I think it was their first U.S. tour when that came out, and that was groundbreaking. So yeah, huge arena. I'll be there for Gojira.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get some more metal shows and rock shows. I know we have a lot of people that have been asking for them, which is why I wanted to have these guys on.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be cool to have them, and maybe we'll hit you guys up to open for them. How
There we
cool
go.
would
Please
that be?
do.
So, do you guys have a pre-show ritual that you guys do? Like anything goofy? Like I see the energy drink for John over there, but do you guys do anything goof off, get in a huddle, do a pep talk, anything like that?
We haven't got there yet. I guess the nerdy thing I do is I practice guitar, which is really lame to say, but yeah, I do vocals while doing lead guitars, and if I don't put at least half an hour in before a set, it falls apart real quick. So that's my nerdy thing.
Yeah, I get a little nervous. So I have a couple beers and then just hang out and talk to people.
That's a big thing. We like to kind of socialize with all the other
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
A lot of some bands will kind of show up, go on when they're on, and then leave. But we like to hang out, meet some other people. We've got a really good community around here. I think again, post-COVID, there's been a lot more shows, a lot more bands that have opened up. So getting to meet new people, fans, that's kind of drives it for us.
Yeah, nice. Well, and I meant to mention this. I didn't have it on here, but if you guys know who they are or follow them, you guys have probably seen videos of Cody ripping on guitar. I don't think people understand it's really hard to sing and play lead guitar. When I used to learn guitar when I was younger, my guitar teacher always told me that was not possible. So I can't sing, so I was gonna try to see if I could rip on guitar. But you guys should definitely go check that out. I'm gonna post all their social media so you guys can do that. And so if you guys could give your band a Yelp review, what would it say? It doesn't have to be long, but I want the stars, how many stars you guys would give yourselves.
It's definitely a 3.
Yeah,
It's definitely a 3. What the comment would say, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I know that's a tough question.
10 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah,
How
there
many
you
stars
go.
are there? 5?
Yeah, Cody said
5.
3, and you're
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
give. Hey, I like
you got to
it.
shoot for the stars.
Yeah, you
know
have
what I
to.
mean?
You have to-
literally.
you
in
have to
this,
be confident.
Yeah. You believe in yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, we will skip over that because I know that's hard. If I had to give you guys a Yelp review, I would say I'm going to be honest. I get to see you guys play for the first time tonight, but just from what I've heard and what I've seen, yeah, I know. You guys look like you're a lot of fun, and I would say a lot of fun and talented. I think you guys have potential to, like I said, when you guys start opening for national acts, I think you guys have that potential to go forward from that. So I would say that's my Yelp review for Terrafirma. Yeah.
Post
So, yes. Do you guys have any funny or interesting stories from being on the road? Has anything happened to you guys, while you were traveling? something break in your van, like, and you guys had to be positive about it, like?
The one that springs to mind.
I don't want
to
to say the name of the place, but if
well,
you're thinking the same.
There's a couple situations. One in particular, we showed up to a gig with everything taken care of, sorted, and they didn't know we were supposed to be there.
Oh no.
So that was an experience. We made it work.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was a fun little okay kind of moment. Like you show up with a bunch of guitars and they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, wait.
I hate that, but they probably regretted that.
Nah,
So.
that was
It was whoever booked it. Yeah, we don't even know who booked it.
Nah.
Oh man.
But nothing. I mean, the good thing is like nothing too chaotic. It's been pretty solid so far. We've played a lot of great venues. Trying to think.
Only other place I can think is here. I don't know if that's podcast.
Yeah.
It, but,
John's like, keep it PG, keep it PG.
Yeah.
But have you guys had anything like happen while you're on stage and you kind of had to just go with it? Like, did something break? Like, did a guitar string, you lost a couple of those while you were playing? Like I said, Cody ripping, like maybe you lost one. Same with you.
Yeah, we've had like our rig like has I don't say malfunction. I guess malfunction, right? At before, and that's always kind of like it's not really a big deal, but it's like it's like a 5-second moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, we played it so much, like you don't need that stuff to play. But that's really, we've been super fortunate. We haven't had like a disaster yet at all. We always know like it's going to happen one day, right? But it hasn't happened yet.
I have dropped a pick coming up to big solos. I made it work. Made it work.
Yeah, he got through it.
That's tough.
Pretty good. No, but yeah, we we do want to always be able to still play the material out, even if everything falls, everything breaks apart. We have a lot of cool production stuff on our live show with backing tracks, but if those aren't working, no big deal.
Yeah.
Still get through it.
Yeah, I know. Last year when I went to Blue Ridge, I went and saw Dayseeker, and all of their backtracking stuff fried.
Yeah.
But like I said, they made it work. They did an acoustic set. It was awesome. So yeah, and like I said, even when that stuff happens in the future, I'm sure you guys would be able to handle it. So just quick thinking. But so we're gonna play a fun game of this or that with the guys. So I'm gonna let each of them choose their own answers, so they don't have to come to a team decision. So Spotify or Apple Music?
For me, it's Spotify because I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. I don't know how to use an iPhone.
Ooh.
I don't Apple.
Team Android.
I don't Apple.
Yeah. What about you, Cody?
So I prefer Apple Music, but I have both because everybody else has Spotify.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, they're always sending me links. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this
You're
out.
like, wait a
And I'm
second.
like, I don't want to have to like go dig it up. So
Yeah.
Nah, I think Apple Music is it's a little nicer. And I mean, I've got a bunch of Apple stuff, so yeah, that helps.
So Apple Music is goated. All right, you guys are gonna have to fight that one out. So metal or classic rock? Even though I have a feeling I know both of y'all's answers to this already.
So we have this we have this joke where I guess I don't really listen to anything before 1994.
I think Korn's first album
Korn's
is where
first
we
album is
like.
like as far back as I go. I'm not going to elaborate because I don't want everybody in these comments.
They're going to be up in arms.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So metal for me, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I like some classics, but yeah, metal's still my go-to. Yeah, I like some like lighter, like thinking like some more like classic prog rock, but it's metal 80% of the time.
Okay, I figured that would be the answer.
Yeah,
so
that's an easy one.
Yeah. So headphones or AirPods? I know this is a very serious question.
I've never owned any AirPods, so go headphones. I'm picturing like the Walkman style, like the ones that get behind
little clippy ones
for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
No, AirPods are too convenient.
Yeah.
Too
I like. I think I like AirPods for work purposes, but whenever I'm at the gym or I'm just like walking around, I got to do the headphones. It's just like better sound quality. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Just got to hear everything. But,
I think for me it's I'll use headphones when we're recording stuff and doing demos.
Right.
So like I don't want to have to do that like all the time.
Yeah,
I'd say that at home when I'm just chilling, I'll throw some AirPods in.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Would you guys rather record vocals or instrumentals?
That's funny that you asked this question because it's a conversation we've been having a lot lately in terms of direction for us. But for me, Cody might not agree. I like tracks with vocals on them more. Like if I had to pick, don't get me wrong, like Polyphia, Animals as Leaders, there's Chon, there's plenty of great instrumental bands out there. But if I had to pick, right, definitely songs with vocals on them.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if we're talking about like tracking and recording them, I think vocals are a little more interesting when you're recording because every take is going to be just a little off, even if you're like, perfectly trained.
Yeah.
Which I'm not. But even if you're perfectly trained, there's always going to be a little nuance to each one. That's a little exciting. But I do kind of like the, getting that perfect guitar take. And then for a lot of the guitars we record, we have to do them twice. So you have to set the benchmark and then you have to hit it again.
Yeah,
So that's a fun challenge to do. Probably lean more on the instrumental side.
Okay, cool. I like the difference there.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were mentioning Polyphia. You actually showed me that band, and I was very sad I missed them at Blue Ridge. I wish I could have seen them. I stayed for Slipknot because
Yeah, they came out
you
the
just
same.
have
That was
to.
just cruel.
Yeah, whoever did that, that's not cool. Not cool. No, I'm
That's
just
the tally. Yeah.
Oh man, but Slipknot they killed it though. I can't lie. So Fender or Schecter?
For me, I would go with Schecter only because I've never owned a Fender.
Okay, fair enough.
I've never owned a Fender, and I've played because I played Schecters when I was young. Played them live a couple times. It was always fine.
Yeah.
Schecters were always a solid go-to when you're getting new into guitar and like, coming up with metal and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm popping on the opposite side there naturally.
Okay.
No, so I think Schecter has a cool spot as like again like, you want to get into metal. They've got some excellent like kind of starting guitars. They're higher end stuff. I've never really played one, so it just doesn't do anything for me. I just like the versatility that a lot of the Fenders have. You got a Telecaster for some stuff, Strat. And nowadays when they own Jackson, they've got some metal stuff too. I've had a couple Fenders on and off throughout the years, and I don't have one right now, but I guarantee I'll buy one at some point again. They keep coming back.
Well, I have to ask. So, how many guitars do each of you own?
8, 9.
Oh my gosh.
10.
8 or 9. He just bought. He just
Good.
bought. I took him to the store the other day. To go to Kelly's because I just needed a guitar
I
strap.
love Kelly's.
Yeah, we just went to Kelly's. Shout out Kelly's, they're awesome.
Yeah, for
dude
real.
is so cool. Just because I needed a guitar strap, and that was it.
Yeah,
And I walked out with a guitar strap, and he walked out with
a guitar.
brand new
It was
guitar.
it was there. It was perfect.
I feel very seen in that moment. John knows this. I've been looking at guitars, and I bought one finally last week. I need to get some more time to
Schecter
play.
too, right?
Yeah, I did. I got a Schecter. Maybe I'll bring it on the podcast, but I got to get back into playing. I used to play when I was younger, and I had to give it up for soccer. But here we are. We're back again. But so would you guys rather play small venues or arenas?
I think a sold out small venue is way cooler. It's just
man.
everybody's there. Like they're louder than the PA, like fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, we played some pretty busy small venues.
Right.
Like for example, like the Milk Parlor's probably one of my favorite places to play because the cap is like 300, but
nice.
it's a 300 cap, but it doesn't. Like I'm surprised 300 people can fit in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's always really fun, and like I always really like the idea of playing like house shows, like basement shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's just I don't know, it's just cool.
We like the DIY kind of.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. Don't get me wrong. I will play an arena anytime. Right?
Oh, for
But,
sure, for sure.
Yeah, the vibes in like a small venue and stuff like that are really cool.
Yeah. When you said basement show, even though this was not a basement show, it just reminds me of the Denny's video.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic.
Yes.
Like
Iconic, yeah.
You guys have to play at Denny's.
I
Like
would
we have
play
so
at
many.
Denny's.
We cite that video like once a week.
Yes. Oh my gosh, me too. That's just like I feel like if you're in the metal community at all, that's just like once a week. You got to bring it up. But so I have a very random but fun last question for you guys: Nicki Minaj or Doja Cat?
Nicki Minaj for sure.
Minaj.
Yeah.
Nicki
okay.
Minaj walks so Doja Cat could run.
You were right about that. So
Absolutely.
So I know you guys mentioned the Milk Parlor. So tell us about your upcoming shows, because I know you guys, I mentioned earlier in the podcast, you guys have a really exciting metal festival coming up actually tomorrow. So
So tomorrow, October 7th, we're throwing our own little event called Terrafirma. It's something that Cody and I especially had bounced ideas around for doing for a while. We thought at a time we might have an EP out, so it'd be like an EP really show, and it just kind of evolved into like, let's just get as many bands as we can in a place that we love to do something a little bit bigger. If you look at the names on there, there's a ton of great bands on there.
Yeah.
Shout out to a couple of them like the Ziggurat. They're super supportive. They've been around in this area doing this thing for like 25 years.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
awesome. Super supportive. Blackwater Drowning, I think they're out of North Carolina, but I mean they're making a really good name for themselves. Microdose is out of North Carolina as well. There's a lot of good bands there, right? But It's not all metal. Like the point is like we purposely tried to avoid that.
Okay.
Because we're just fans of music, right?
Right.
And there's going to be, and I also think from like a band standpoint, just like a music lover standpoint, like you get up there with 12 other bands, not all different genres, or all different genres, right? A chance to appeal to more people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And, bring more people together, I guess, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, as corny as that sounds, but yeah.
No, I think that's great. So.
Yeah, and then we got, Cody can talk about it if he wants to, but we got a really exciting show coming up in Richmond.
Yeah, so this one came up pretty recently. We just, we got a flyer up and everything now. I've got tickets still available, so hit us up. But Revocation and Unearth are on tour with Entheos and High Command. So we get to open up for them up at the Canal Club in Richmond. So we're super, super stoked for that.
That's awesome.
Great honor to play, alongside those legends. Revocation, like as John sent me the message, hey, we're gonna have that gig. Like I was literally listening to it, so
yeah,
it was pretty cool. Super excited for that. We got some other stuff we're planning later in the year, upcoming next year. Again, we got some new material we're working on. Once we get that out there, we'll have some other shows ready to go.
All right, awesome. So also, Rob, if you are listening to this, which I'm sure you are, please let me have that Wednesday off to go see them play in Richmond.
Do it.
I got to see them at Canal Club. For anybody that is familiar with Richmond, or I know mostly people in Roanoke listen to the podcast, but I know a couple people from Richmond I'm sure have came across this. You guys know that Canal Club, they've had Pierce the Veil. I've been there for a bunch of different bands. I can't even think of them right now. So that's really awesome that you guys have that coming up, and I know I will be at Terrafirma tomorrow as well. So I'm really excited, and thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. I'm
thanks for having us.
Super stoked to have you guys, and if you guys haven't heard of them, you guys will start to hear about these guys, and please go listen to them. They're awesome. They're really cool, down to earth guys, and they have awesome music. So yeah, thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
Thanks
again.
Yeah.